Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are in Minecraft as usual. We're going to pick up where we left off in the command center. I want to work on the top floor. I want to see what we can come up with for designing some of the landing bays, getting that boxy frame shaped into something a little bit more sci-fi looking, maybe decide on some materials, but mostly I want to focus on the bay doors and the floor because it's kind of difficult to navigate in there. And I don't think I want to raise the floor up by a block, but I might have to. So we'll have to look at that, see what we need to do, and move on from there. So the plan is to just at least design the doors. They're going to be octagonal, which is what we've gotten for a lot of the other doors. So it should be pretty straightforward. I want to use some quartz and some shelves and some frog lights, things like that. So we will just kind of poke at them and see what we can come up with, and hopefully bring it down a little bit because it's a little tall, so we'll work with that. I will of course point you towards the Spawn Chunks, which has got a new episode out right now, and we're also supposed to record the Citadel Cafe tomorrow, but Steven might not be available now, so just kind of put that in the back of your hat in terms of scheduling live stuff for me. We may have to postpone until, I hope not next week, because I don't want to miss April. So we'll have to figure out an alternative night depending on Steven's availability, so should be good. Lazy Tiger is on a 7 stream watch streak, and Dan Grice is on a 35 stream streak. Thanks very much. Really appreciate that, folks. Cosmic, good to see you. Mr. Miley, hello, hello. So to give you an overview, I guess we'll wait until the sun's going to come up. But we've got this 4th level. This is what I want to work on. Mostly these doors. And we're going to be thinking about them mostly from the outside. But I don't know what's happening here. As far as the floor design, I don't have a lot of room vertically. I can do some subfloor stuff, but I can't get too detailed because those lights are actually, I can't go any lower because then we'll put a pattern in the ceiling. Well, I also have to think about the pattern for the ceiling, and the pattern for the ceiling, if I want any depth in the ceiling, I might have to eliminate some of that. So I feel like I may have shot myself in the foot here and created this floor too low. So the only option really would be to create some sort of step up here at the door, so that when you come in there would actually be a step up. But I wanted to make this look like a landing area, so I don't know, I kind of like the fact that it's flat, but it could be cool to have a step up. We'd have to go a full block. It's the only thing. So it might be worth it to have the step like right here as a transition. That could be worth it. We'll have to see. Maybe I should think about the ceiling as well for the inside. Because that's looking pretty bland. But we'll at least take a stab with some quartz frog lights. I'll bring glass. We're going to need the tough and the deep slate. I think that's it. At least for now. Just made a start on your first mega build, Lazy Tiger. That's awesome. Yeah, just take one section at a time. There are definitely moments when I feel overwhelmed by this build, but it's getting a little bit easier. I really want to work on this top section because I feel like the top section will inform us how to design the sides. Which side do I want to do? Let's do the north, I guess. I don't know that we're going to need the shovel. Put that away. Won't need that either. Yeah, I'm really curious. I realize now I need stone and I need diorite as well. As we're going to work with the framing. So, the more I think about this, the more I am really considering raising everything up by a block. I just feel like we'll probably have more room in there. But we'll see. I like what I did down here. Put those lights in there. And I like the layers. Quite thick, but so we don't have that much room. But I like the layers. And then inside, I think my favorites are actually inside here. I like this. So I like the idea of maybe deep slate and then outlined by quartz. And 2 in the middle and 2 stairs seems to be a good angle. So we'll grab some of that. Need more of those. It may be worth just making this solid in terms of making sure we can like kind of get from point A to point B. So if that's going to be something else, then we should have deep slate and quartz. What did that look like? There's also the door, and we can make the door iron as well. Yeah, there's the 5. Okay. Is this 13? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I wouldn't want to go too much more narrow than that. We might have to go 1 block higher. 3 in the middle. Then if we had something else here. And that would still leave room to do something on the outside like this. I don't know if I want it to be deep slate though. It might be good to change it into stone. But then now I've lost my quartz. I want to have a quartz frame in there. So maybe this has to come out farther. I don't want to decrease the space in here. This is only like 17 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17. Yeah, to the base there. So I may make this wider. Can I bring that out farther? It would not be the end of the world. I guess I need to figure out how high this is going to be first. So this doesn't have any bay doors on it. Shapes on these are a little bit more open. I just like the layers on that. And then this is what we're using for a lot of the colors on the outside. I like just the shapes here. Maybe we don't want the stuff at the bottom. Maybe we just want it to be straight. But then still arch the top. If we did that, we'd have to make it lower. Ever Wraith, hello. Welcome in. Have you thought of removing the land around the base and replacing it with water? The reflections would look superb. Mr. Miley, no. You know what? I have not thought about the water. I don't know what the water color is in a mushroom biome. I've not really looked at it en masse. We have the perimeter. We did that yesterday. So it's not a bad idea because I have another image that I really like for inspiration, and there is water or ice, I think, in that. Like, I got a couple that have water in them. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's cool. And that's got water and ice and stuff in it. But then also that one. It's got a lot of water in it. I really like the scale here. I think that's cool. You know, we could actually have this be pushed out and have it look more like a tunnel. I feel like as I look at this from the side, it would be cool if this kind of like stepped out and had some depth to it. But yeah, if we did that, we'd have to go shorter. I don't like the straight bottom. And I think I'd want that just to be a little bit lower. If not lower, wider. Which is a problem because I had set these up to be 5 by 5, but we could do 3 by 5, I guess. All right, let's just pop over to the next door neighbor and build a different shape and see what that looks like. And we'll also try to bring it out a little bit. Maybe we'll start it at least a block forward. Three layers might be a little bit much. Maybe we end up putting a diorite out here because it matches over there. But instead of 3 layers, maybe we have the outside. Oops. Too low. That's a little bit more what I want shape-wise. Could do maybe slabs across the top. Yeah, it's a bit much. So maybe here, just vertical. Maybe just not quite right there. I like the extra width. Okay, it's going to change the positions of these. But you can see what I mean by having like an extra step out here. And that's going to change this section, and that's why I wanted to do this first. I've got the idea of this kind of like coming out and then like dripping down is the wrong way to say it, but like I kind of want it to feel like it's over top. I want it to feel like it's over the edge. Yeah, I'm liking that in terms of the width. So this now it's just a matter of like layering in the blocks in the order that we want them to be. Yeah, there's a lot more quartz here. It's also smooth quartz. And if I had a step up in here, I think I would put it out here. Like I feel like the step up would be on the outside. Oh, we're out of deep slate. That's a pain. Oh crap. My pickaxe is in my ender chest. I will be very happy when we can update and get the deep slate recipes going on the stonecutter. Although I might be waiting for whatever the next drop is. I might be waiting for Chaos Cube to update the server. No, because this is the only thing that I care about in Tiny Takeover, and nobody else in the server has really voiced any thoughts as to when they need to update, so it's a lot of work just to get all the data packs and mods updated, and it's a better part of an afternoon for me, and I just haven't taken the time. Do I have any webcam pics? This isn't a webcam. This is a Sony Z. What is it? It's on my. If you go to the you go to my about page on Twitch. I think I've got the camera listed. I've got two. I've got a Sony A6100 for Lego, and then I've got a Sony Z3 something. I really wish that camera companies would just come up with better names for their cameras. Like, I feel like they should just call them, like, name them like cars, you know? You know, the Sony Intrepid or the, you know, Sony Spark. Just give it a name so people can remember which one's which. Yeah, no, I use a cam link. You don't see the camera? Right. I'll know it if I see it. Sony ZV-E10. Sony ZV-E10. That's what I have. Thanks. I should probably add those. And Lost in Reverb. I have the stock lens. I have whatever came with it. I didn't buy a fixed focal length. It's 30 to 80, I think. 35 to 80, 35 to 70, something like that. It's whatever comes with it. You can buy it without, but for the sake of having it ready to go out of the box, you will also need a cam link or a capture card. And I have it on Gatto cam link 4K, whatever that is. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good picture. It took a little bit of fiddling to get it right. There was some, not lighting temperature, but lighting frequency stuff I had to figure out. And I also have some decent lights. Those I've definitely put in the Discord. They're just they're not Niwar, but they're like, I can't remember the name of the company, but they're big like photography lights. So I've got like a light off to my right. I've got a light these are just light bulbs, desk lamps, and then there's 2 lights behind me plus the strip lights, and then there's a big floodlight that's bouncing off the wall. So with these cameras, you need to make sure that you've got more light kicking around. A webcam is going to be way more forgiving of your environment. Yeah, I like that. I like that look. I wonder if we could work in some orange. That could be kind of cool. Maybe we put some orange sandstone in there instead of the deep slate. I've got orange terracotta, but it's not going to be, I don't know, I'm not going to have stairs and slabs, right? Could also try copper. Sandstone could be a good possibility. All right, how did I do that on this side? Started it out there, so on the black part. Oh, I wanted to try that in diorite, didn't I? Always a way. I'm always having to go downstairs and bring up stuff that I forgot. Oh, I brought up the diorite. What am I doing? Death Brigade, welcome in. I am having a hard time with the sci-fi theme too. It's definitely a challenge. It is not the easiest thing. The block palette is really tough. Or your limited block palette, I think. Still needs the gray or something else on top of it. So I think quartz here is still the go. And we may go with smooth quartz. It's just that it's easier to work with this stuff when you're testing it out. The regular stuff. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe not the stone, but the quartz and the orange, I think looks good. To get rid of this. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same. It could be... We could have it black on the inside, too. Maybe that's where we can squeeze in the black. It's still a little bit tall. Yeah. I could even bring it out farther. Because then these don't have to be straight. Like we could also have this come out. Like that. Yeah. We'd have to put something in there, but I got some ideas. How wide is this other one? Is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the same. It's just that this is taller. There's a hole there. Building around the Lord of the Rings theme. That's awesome. Maybe the last 2 years. That's awesome. I love Lord of the Rings. Have you ever taken a look at the Minecraft Middle Earth server? If not, you should look it up. Especially like getting a tour video or something. It's so cool. For Orthanc, they removed all the ground and they built the ground at like Y. At the time, it would have been like Y0. And so they had like 256 blocks of height. Area Craft or Epic Quests? I don't know. I don't know who did it. I walked around on the server myself a while ago. I should try to do that again. There was like a little quiz that I had to take before I could proceed. It was cool. So what stuff in the Lord of the Rings are you building? Oh, that's not right. Are you like building directly from the world, or are you kind of just doing a theme, like making your own stuff up, but working working in that universe? I like the orange. Thinking I want to make it a step up though. Yeah, this is very straight. And I like the idea of having more angles. You can sort of see this has got some angles in the top. I like that. This is just all angles. This would be really tough to do in Minecraft. Not that this would be easy. Kind of made Isengard with an Elden Ring tower. That's cool. Those are just fun genres to mess around in. No, it's Shulker Labels is the name of the mod. Shulker Plus is no longer working. At least not on this version of Minecraft. I need to take a short break, folks. If you're new to the channel, I do this once an hour. Gives me a chance to go reheat the coffee and grab another drink. You should too. We'll be back in about 6 or 8 minutes. I forgot to mention when we were talking about the Sony ZV-E10 that I got a lot of my research done for the camera on Tom Buck's YouTube channel. It's just his name, Tom Buck, B-U-C-K. Really cool YouTube channel. But if you look up Tom's review of the Sony ZV-E10 and his cable recommendations and stuff like that, you'll get a lot of really good information. He's also got a lot of good information on mics and stuff like that too. He's a fun guy and really well produced videos. Yeah, okay. I like this. It's just missing some contrast. These actually could maybe bring those up. That could work. All right, I'm going to try this with a step up to see how it looks. Ben Corvus, hello. All right, let's try a slightly different version over here. Oh, that's not going to work. I have to go farther. That will probably end up looking better. All right, so that would be the door. That would be the inside. I wonder if we can mix up the black and the orange here. Not bad. It's probably going to have to come out a little bit farther. That's fine. Yeah, that helps it feel a little bit more stable. Plus, it'll give us more room inside. I really don't know what to do about corners. SweetSandi with 200 bits. Thanks very much. Hope you're having a good day. Yep, we have to make it higher. That's fine. That's going to mess up everything in here, though. This stage of designing something is always really labor intensive. All the back and forth and trying to figure out what blocks go where. Oh, that's two. I gotta make this higher too. I think that's right. Fix this side. A lot of this stuff is temporary. We'll have to go back and measure things and replace all the blocks that I'm doubling up on. I'm glad I thought about this orange thing. I'm really liking the color edition. Have to go with another stair, I guess. Yes, maybe. That or I just need another... Maybe I don't need orange going across the top. glass mod. I've got a texture pack, and then I've got continuity, I think. Yeah, continuity. And then on the texture pack side, I was using Fusion, but now I'm using, there's the default connected textures with continuity, and then there's a glass pane culling fix that I run. And that's part of continuity, as far as I remember. I don't mind the not having the orange on the top. Yeah, that's good. We'll just have lights in there. Actually, that would be a good opportunity to take this out here. And put in some orange glass and some frog lights. Might have to make that a little bit wider, but that's pretty cool. And I like the orange on the deep slate. Yes. Maybe on the inside we just replace quartz. Hold on. The weird part is it's not going to make any sense as to where these doors go because they can't retract into the wall. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Oh, no problem, Goldfish. Happy to help. All right, move this. That's a little bit better. We may want to just do this entirely in sandstone. That's not bad either, because then we could have lights here. Or have the back layer be black. I don't mind that. Then we don't have to worry about an actual door. You can imagine it maybe coming down from above. And we could move... Oh, wait a minute, that screws up that light layer. Not a big fan of this anyway. Could move the lights to be in the middle. Or we could change this to be the door. I don't mind that. That's pretty cool. The lights in front of it are neat as well. We just have to move the glass, I guess. Or have 2 layers to the door. We're definitely getting somewhere. Now from the side, does not have this stepped look that I would want. Can I make this out farther? Nope, quartz is just one in front of that. Maybe I need another layer. Looks cool at night. We'd need some lights from the bottom too. I think I prefer having a little bit more quartz visible. Maybe not. Wrong shape at the top. I like the layers. I don't like the color. So maybe we'll go back to stone for that. Yeah, I like that. It's just not stepping down the way that I thought it was, but maybe we have to knock this back. All right, so if we do that, we'll end up with more space inside, I think. Guess we'd have more quartz inside. I'm all right with that. Oh, it has to go back further, I guess. Yeah. So then how do we break up the outside here? I was curious about this. It's 5 blocks in from the edge. So if I come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's here. And then it's 1 block behind me. Oh, here. Could be really interesting if we have this come in. Maybe we try and connect this aspect of the design from below. Try to bring it through, maybe? Not in love with that. Feel like we have to go to a different angle. Hey, thanks for being awesome. Appreciate it. I dislike the rain. It's very hard to design in the rain. Do we have enough of a step forward here? I think needs maybe one more. Can't really do ramps in Minecraft, but you can come close with slabs. We'd obviously want to make that a little bit more shaped, but in terms of this profile, I think that's okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think that's all right. Give us some room to do some lights over here. Maybe not orange, but we'll do them orange for now. Yeah, I like that. All right, well, let's take a stab at really making this look sharp, which means we got to remove a lot of this material underneath here. Take down all this floor too. Oh, sorry. There we go. Two more layers. And then I guess in the floor here, do lights, or actually lights would be good. This is another reason why I'm glad that I have that extra room now. Do stuff like this. This may or may not look good. I think here we have to go with slabs. And what do we do? This is where I'd want to have something special for the door. Go concrete for now. That does look a little bit funny. Maybe we bump that back. It's getting there. I like the shape. I really like the shape. Yeah, I think we need to bump this back. And I guess these need to be blocks then. How does that look? Yeah, it's okay. Don't think I want to put quartz in the floor. No. We might actually extend this to be deep slate. And then we need to do more iron on the top. We could always do 2 layers of lights, but oh, that's weird now. I know that the lights don't line up. Don't know if I like that or not like that. Yeah, I like that look. Don't know about the lights on the floor. I feel like we'd have to put the lights somewhere else. It might be worth it to put lights in the corners and have this be maybe either, I guess it can't be crafters, it has to be these guys, the blast furnaces. Do I have enough of those? No. Not crazy about that either. That's straight orange bit. I don't know what else we could put up there. Quartz maybe. The other thing is I need to decide if I want to do quartz or smooth quartz. Probably smooth quartz. I need some smooth stone. Cobblestone. Ooh, wow. Cobblestone's getting low. I have cobblestone elsewhere. That's fair. Maybe we'll do a short road trip. Yeah, that's not going to be enough, I don't think. It's only going to be 8. All right, let's grab that then. There's a hole there. I think this is probably the right decision, is to put these guys as I make them. What am I missing? Iron? I don't know. I might actually want something darker than that. Darker, but more technical. I don't know if we have that. That may not exist. The tops of smithing tables are kind of dark. That might work. Too purple. I mean, we could also put observers in there too. They've got some detail. And we have enough room that could probably make them blink too. There's also deep slate tile. Unfortunately, it just looks like tile. Like it looks like bricks. I feel like we could probably do something cool with the observers. We have to maybe figure something out. I don't know if this too wide orange is going to work. I like it for the color, but it doesn't work logistically for the door. Yeah, that looks kind of funny too, doesn't it? Maybe we have to remove this entirely. That's not terrible. I think it looks better than before. And then we can do something special for the door. That's probably going to work. Okay. Let me just remove some of my inventory here. M-Dog resubscribed to tier 1, 56 months. That's amazing. Thanks so much, M-Dog. Always good to see you. Yeah, I need to take a break too, Sandy. You're right. We'll do a quick road trip after the break. Inventory was a little cluttered anyway. Stone, empty shulker box. Okay. Give me, I remember the last time I slept. Give me about 6 or 8 minutes, folks. I do this once an hour. If you're watching this later on Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube, then you can always use that time to subscribe to the channel. And maybe you like the video if you're enjoying it. There's lots to view. I do everything live on stream. It's all archived on Joel Duggan VODs. And I'll be right back. All right, we're going to go get some cobblestone. I think West Hill is probably the fastest way to get a couple shulker boxes full, or 1.5. Actually, the modern city probably has some too. Let's go modern city. I'm looking forward to coming back to this build and working on it for a bit. Be fun. Cobblestone. I just have stone? Do I not have cobblestone? I must have cobblestone somewhere. Here we go. Aha. That might just be the perfect amount. Yeah, close enough. Plus, there's still lots. So not as busy as a road trip as I thought. Definitely one of the things I like about endgame Minecraft. So what I want to do is work a little bit on the roof part. Stick these over here now. So I feel like this is now too tall. Or at least too steep. So I'd like to have something that steps it back. Need more observers from downstairs, I guess. Yeah. Anything else? Should be okay for now. I think I only used a few. Yeah, like every 2 blocks. So here, maybe what we'll do is remove these guys. Put these back. and then alternate through here. Probably have one in the middle. There's two, I guess. Of course, I don't have enough. Jeez. The only thing about dumping all the non-essential inventory, of course, is that when you need the odd block, you're now low on everything. Is that too close? No, that's the same. I don't like these. That should give me enough to do all of it, I think. Cool. Okay. And then this will be whatever the inside's going to be. Oh, I should check to see if I want to do this with smooth quartz before I get too carried away. It looks a little funny from the inside right now, but I like the outside. Just that this looks odd. But I can't really do much about that. Maybe the quartz is the right answer there. Yeah. Yeah, it's better than the sandstone. Still looks like it stops. But I didn't like it when there was more. Maybe another block of quartz? What do we do on the other side? It was 2 stairs and then slabs. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. And then all of this can go. This is all going to get covered up. Cool. Okay, so then we've got a layer of stone we can put in probably. I don't know whether I should do stone or stone slabs. Probably stone. I feel like this part needs to come out more. Yeah, I'm not sure about the stone yet. I feel like this could probably overlap. And maybe extend this a little bit. Actually, that might be better just knocked back. Yeah, it looks okay. This potentially could be higher. I don't hate that. There needs to be some sort of overlap, though. Because I feel like I'm designing very square, and I don't know if I like it. All right, I think one thing I need to do is just remove this top frame. It's throwing me off a bit. What was the go-to game before Minecraft bit me? I think my biggest games over the last few years were World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, I played a little bit of Hearthstone and a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, but World of Warcraft was a lot of time. Satisfactory. I put a lot of time in Satisfactory. That's more recent though. That doesn't predate Minecraft. That's an addition to Minecraft. And in the same, very similar type of game in terms of creative building and stuff. Before that, I definitely logged a lot of time in first-person shooters, but not like on my own. It was always playing with my buddy Chad, and that was older games like Call of Duty United Offensive, Medal of Honor, or was it Medal of Honor United Offensive? I can't remember. It was like early 2000s. Oh, StarCraft 2 is fantastic. The story is great. This is one of those situations where I want to put in a platform to work on, and then we may end up changing this. We may end up putting blocks underneath this in certain situations, but it's not a super deep floor. This will give more leeway underneath for the ceiling of the main chamber as well for some depth, if in case we want to add some layers there. It will be complicated. I think I really Need to work on a section of the floor up here, decide what we're doing, and then work on a section of the ceiling down below, decide what we're doing, because I think the ceiling down below would probably have to happen first. Otherwise it's going to be very cramped and very slow going. All right, now in here, I'd imagine I'm going to go with probably dark concrete. And this does give me more room. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I only gained a block, I guess. I guess 19 if you include that. I should probably finish that top part too. Do you think Mojang will ever incorporate motor engine blocks into the game to create more mechanical things beyond redstone? I have no idea. I do feel like Mojang sticks to a certain design Bible or design set of rules that I think sometimes hamstrings them. I think you're going to see stuff like that in games like Hytale. I think that's more than likely. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2, 3, 4. All right, so that sort of maps out the structure in the middle. Again, looking at this, I'm sort of thinking about like what might be at the top here. It might not be that tall, but we're just thinking about that eventual structure. And the reason why I want to know where that is because if I want to do some skylights, above this section, I want to know how much space I have between the edge of the door and the edge of that, so I can put this in a decent position. And since we're up here, I feel like this needs to get some sort of angle to it. And we may actually be able to use these lights as part of the design. I don't know if tough is what we're going to be using, but this could look cool. Yeah. I'll just use stone for now, I guess. You can see how I wanted to have this like come down. So it come down in that sort of shape. What if I don't change the color, if I just put this out like this? It needs to be lower somehow. Maybe it does need to be a different material. Maybe that might work. That could be kind of cool. Although I might have choose a different block. do still like the idea of trying to get in some sort of angled supports on the top. The hard part with this is just designing it at a scale that actually works. What new cape? I haven't heard about the crafter's cape. Is that new? I usually have drops enabled on the channel, but oh, if it's TwitchCon thing, then no. Yeah, Mojang has been really advertising TwitchCon a lot. Yeah, I don't like the straight line here. I feel like I need to... Maybe we need to go back from this edge. Maybe we need to take that down. I think I need to go back, not forward. Well, that was pointless. Yeah, and then maybe have that be at a certain level all the way around. I feel like it needs to be more horizontal. I'm getting into vertical creative mode. How do I do that? Wrong button. Yeah, I think if we start stepping things back, that'll work nicely. Doesn't mean I can't do the lights though. Or at least not in the same way I thought I was going to be able to do them. Now maybe we go out 3 before we angle it back. That could be a good idea too. I gotta think about the new ceiling height as well. I think it's currently 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's 10. I probably want that to be 9. Oh, no, it is 9. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Could be a little bit lower, but we also have room now to have like some depth in the ceiling. Similar to how we have depth in this here, 2 blocks. Yeah, I don't know about the stone. I feel like I might have to come up with a more interesting block. Diorite is not going to work. We may have to play around with that. Yeah, that could probably work. I wish Mojang could announce things like normal people would. No kidding. As someone that does a news show about Minecraft, you have no idea how much I wish they would just announce things in an orderly fashion as opposed to splitting things between Bedrock and Java and TwitchCon and Minecraft Live, and announcing things on YouTube Shorts is a terrible idea. Like, just, I mean, yes, sure, put it there, but not have it be the only place that you put something. You know, it's so all over the place. The fact that you cannot find the snapshots on the website now is ridiculous. We had this conversation in the Spawn Chunks Discord. Like, you can't surf to the latest snapshot on the website. You have to get a link from Twitter or from a friend, or remember the syntax of the address. It just changes the number. It's stupid. Because I mean, I post to Twitter, but I don't read Twitter at all. There's very few social media bits that I consume. And if you want to follow Mojang on something like Instagram or TikTok, it's all just fluff. Like, there's no news necessarily. You can, but only later. Where do you surf to the news section though, Wormboat? If you haven't been there in a while, they've changed the website recently. You cannot, there's no news section. I can't find it. It's really poor web design. I mean, Minecraft Net has never been good. I like that overhang there. I like that depth. We might try, that's a kind of a happy accident. We might stick with that. All right, let's remove some of these. And I'll put in the other ones on the other side to see if we like them. I like the orange up here. The orange lights. It's nice. Has a difference from below. And we could have more depth happening here. I'm just kind of messing around and trying to get some ideas down. So you can imagine this whole thing being like 3 blocks shorter and wrapping around like a metal ring. I think that could look cool. And to make it feel like, you know, you're coming in for a landing. If there was a floor, I probably would have hit the floor. And then exiting would be the same thing. Kind of cool. You know, feels like you're going off an aircraft carrier. Kind of fun. Nice. Okay. What else do I want to do over here? It was the ceiling that I wanted to try to map out a little bit. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, and then if the quartz is like the main inside bit, then we could assume got this much space here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not bad. I think I'd try to make the skylight the same sort of shape as the door, maybe. Two blocks farther. Something like that, maybe. Two, three, four, five. Oh. Okay. Oops. So that is probably what I'm going to do for a skylight in here. That might be a little bit big. You can imagine 4 of those around. We might have to go somewhere in between that size and this size. That also, that's not even. Anyway. I think that's pretty good. Pretty inviting. Nice big open space. Yeah. Not too low, not too high. I feel like a ship could probably fly in here. You know, something like an X-Wing style. Cool. Just love to see how this build comes together. Oh, thanks, Sandy. Appreciate that. It's coming together a little bit faster now that we have a distinct kind of art direction and shape language for it. Like, I almost want to revisit some of this stuff down here with more, like, these are very straight, and I kind of want to revisit them with maybe some more octagonal stuff. Like, kicking this back in a little bit could be cool. Yeah, like, this is what we got today in terms of like a rough start. And then if we go over here, this is what I had roughed out originally. So obviously it's taken a much squatter design. Hard to see on this side, but I think I might have to reduce that down. You can sort of see this angle. I might actually push this back a little bit. Put a softer angle here. Yeah, I think that's working. Obviously, there's a lot of fine tuning that has to come with it, and I think I also have to think about what's happening in the middle here a little bit more. But I like this wrap. It's for me right now. I'm not decided on the stone. It's not terrible, and we do have some down here. It's just a matter of how we wrap it around. And I have to make a commitment to like removing this scaffolding frame and just like throw that in there as solid stone. See what I like. Maybe it just needs Maybe it just needs some inlays. Like maybe the stone is just bothering me because it's just stone, where if I took this quartz, like maybe if we knocked out a block there, like all of a sudden you can get a little bit more going on if we had, say, like, how far is that down? Maybe a block off the top. So we go here. And that might not work, but you get the idea. It's like we could create some horizontal banding. Maybe it's not something we have to do inside. Like maybe we can just straight up add the quartz to the outside. And that in turn could be something that we use to echo the vent work that I was trying to do. Where is that? It's over here somewhere. Thanks, Sandy. Of course, it's going to be the last one that I check. Yeah, so we try to do some vent-looking designs down there. And so if you had some horizontal down there and you had some horizontal going on up here, that could be cool. I mean, maybe we just add vents. Maybe instead of quartz, that needs to be a vent, you know? Anyway, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Yeah, I like the door. It's good. All right, folks, let's see who's live. I can send you along to somebody else playing Minecraft. There's usually someone doing some fun things. Pearlescent Moon is live, and we have not rated Pearlescent Moon in a little while, so we'll send you all over there. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. It is Wednesday all day long. And do check out the Spawn Chunks on your favorite podcasting app. It's all about Minecraft. We cover the news, and we have episode 400 coming up, which is going to be an all-email show. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can follow me on social media, Joel Duggan, and check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan to support the stream. Join the Discord. It's only $2 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee, and it does a great deal to help me continue to stream here on Twitch. I would very much appreciate it. And you can also just tell a friend. It's completely free to share the link around, invite people to come over and hang out with us. We are live Tuesday through Friday at 9 a.m. and Saturday at 1, and I hope to see more of you soon. Bye for now.